Hi, and welcome to This is Manchego again. It's almost Christmas time, and I was recently gifted an Advent cheese box from some very good friends of mine, and so I'd like to share some of my cheese experiences with you as I go through them all. In the interest of time, however, I'll be doing these reviews pretty quick and comboing them up so we can hopefully get through all of them before Christmas, but also before they expire. We'll be splitting this into different parts, taking a look at 3 cheeses at a time and comparing them all at once. I'm hoping to find a cheese that I'll really like in this box, but I'm just curious and excited to try them all and continue to explore this vast world of cheese. So to the box and product itself, this is an Advent cheese box consisting of 9 different cheeses that you can cover over 24 days, as is particular with an Advent cheese box. It's made by Ilchester, and all the cheeses here featured are by Ilchester as well. Alright, so let's start. The first cheese is a Red Leicester by Ilchester. The first thing that strikes me is that bright orange color, which is indicative of a cheddar cheese, but not all cheddar cheese is orange. First off, let's go to the smell. The cheese only has a slight scent to it, with 4 being kind of like a strong smell, and 1 being a cheese with no smell. It's about a 2. Texture-wise, this cheese is on the firmer side of the texture range, so I would say it's, somewhat firm, although it does have some squishiness to it. Taste-wise, I found this cheese really shined in exemplifying cheddar. It was pretty salty and sharp, but it also had that buttery flavor to it. Overall, this is a good and strong, but not overpowering traditional cheddar that has a very strong, quote-unquote cheddar character to it. The second cheese is just called Cheddar. This should be interesting. For the sake of avoiding any confusion between these cheeses, we'll call this one the standard cheddar. Much like the cheese before it, the standard cheddar has a slight scent to it. Texture-wise, also very similar, and semi-firm. Taste-wise, however, the taste was quite a bit different from what we had just had. In this case, it had more of a lactic flavor to it, milky almost, but still retained the sharpness and the buttery characteristic, though not as much as the first cheese. It also has a very subtle sourness to it that I caught. Overall, this is a good standard cheddar with less punch and more of a creamy feel to it. The third cheese is called Applewood by Ilchester. It does say it is smoked, so I have some thoughts on how it may taste, but let's see how it turns out. Scent-wise, it still only has a slight scent, much like the other cheeses, but there is a bit of a smoky, almost barbecue-like musk to it. Texture-wise, it's actually slightly softer than the other 2 cheeses, but only just a tad, and enough so that I'd call it semi-soft still. Taste-wise, this one is interesting though. There was some saltiness to it, but it also had a touch of sharpness, less so than the other 2 cheeses, but it also had a good buttery taste to it also. There were hints of toastiness and a sweet flavor within it that I really had to wait before I could pick it up, but they were there. It also had a creamy flavor to it as well. Overall, the smokiness changes the profile of this cheddar to something quite unique and very different from the other 2. In all, each cheese ended up being quite unique in flavor despite all being cheddar. Being a bit of a cheese snob, I didn't expect cheddar to have such different characteristics within this style of cheese, but I was proven wrong. Out of these 3 thus far, my favorite is the Applewood smoked cheddar. I enjoyed its flavor softness, and it was nice relaxing cheese that I wouldn't mind eating on its own. That's not to say the other cheeses weren't great. If you like a good sharp cheddar, or one that is slightly less punchy, more creamy, couldn't go wrong with the other 2. And that's it for now. We'll continue with part 2 in a while. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Which of these 3 cheeses sounded like one you'd pick up for a snack, or just sit down and eat? Let me know in the comments below.